Hey everybody, and I'm so sorry the replay didn't take. I think what happened was when I was doing the live session yesterday, Wednesday, I passed the organizer credentials over to Robin, and I think that dropped off the recording. And sometimes it can affect that, and I didn't catch it. So anyway, I'm going to have to re-record all this right now. It's not going to be as nuanced, perhaps, but I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts, all you really need to be able to move forward and know what's going on to get your marketing funnels built, and a few other details. I'm going to talk about how Robin starts the funnels. It says tomorrow, it's today, for Kartra users. If you don't know what Kartra is, it's a platform that makes it really easy for us to drop the marketing funnels into your account. So we're starting with them because it's so darn easy. There will be advantages to Kartra users. We've talked about that a lot before. I'm not going to go into it now. If you don't know what Kartra is, just skip that for now, because we need to move forward. We need to implement. We'll talk more detail about Kartra again in the future. If you have Kartra, though, today, Robin begins building your funnels, assuming we're on track for everything, and so far, so good. If you have Kartra, we're going to give you a step to take in this session so you know what to do to request to have your funnel built, because we need some information from you to drop your Hempworx funnel in there. Next up, once we get the Kartra people with their funnels, we're then going to process the next group and help you get your Hempworx funnel. And that's going to be those of you who are either in Profit Platform or the Ambassador Program. Whether you're in my Hempworx downline or not, you're going to get a Hempworx funnel, even if you don't have Kartra. So first we're going to process those with Kartra, then we're going to process those in Profit Platform and Ambassador if you don't have Kartra. And we're going to use Elementor to do that. It's a free tool. And if you're in Profit Platform and Ambassador, then we've built a blog for you, or you need to get through milestone 1. And you don't even have to get that through the whole thing, but you need us to build a blog for you so we can place your marketing funnel on your own domain. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that today. After we process them, then the next group we're going to process to set up with the Hempworx funnel are those of you who are in our Hempworx organization, who are not in Profit Platform and are not in Ambassador and don't have Kartra. And the process of setting you up will be similar, but I know a lot of you don't have websites, you don't have blogs, so we're going to need to get you hooked up at a really, really low cost. Like, we're not profiting on any of that. I'll talk about those costs. You need to have a funnel in your own control. You already have a funnel in Hempworx's control, and it's, by the way, the best system and funnel process I've ever seen a company provide. But for reasons we've talked about a lot before and we'll talk about in the future, you have to have your own lead generation funnel in your own control for so many different reasons. And if you've missed that discussion, we'll talk about it again. It's just a fact. You're at a massive disadvantage if you try to advertise, if you try to generate your own leads and then automate the process of communicating with those leads. If you try to apply any kind of professional marketing, which is what we're setting you up to do, or we're going to be giving you emails to follow up with and content and presentations, you need to have the funnel on your own system. Now, look, if you don't even want to do that, because I'm going to talk about what that is. We're going to make it extremely easy to get set up with that, like ridiculously easy. But even if you don't want to do that, we will put up like a community funnel that's not in your own domain that you could refer people to, but it's not as powerful, okay? So I'm going to talk about this whole process, how we're going to get you all set up, and the process for getting added to the 10 uplines rotators. Remember when I talked in the last week's session about how the strategy is going to get, once somebody has 100 committed people in one leg, they get added to 10 different uplines marketing rotators. We want to get you added too. If you've got 100 people already, or when you get 100 people, what's the process look like? That question came up, was a great question. How are we going to manage that process as this is growing and scaling? And this is going to be a fast growing system. So all these people are going to be coming in. How are we going to handle like managing it so that as new people are coming in, once they have 100 committed people in one leg, how are they going to get added to 10 different uplines marketing funnel rotators? We'll talk about that and how you guys will as well. I'm going to move fast here, guys, because I got to get back to implementation, and I just need to get you the nuts and bolts, what you need to know today. By the way, we're going to have a interactive session tomorrow, Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, and an interactive session on Saturday. Oh, I forgot the time now. It's coming up here. Saturday afternoon at a time that I think I'll confirm that, at a time that anyone at any different time zone would be able to attend on Saturday. So if you have questions after all of this, and after you watch the marketing funnel presentation, particularly the comprehensive review. We want you to understand it. Like after you've watched that, because we're posting that tonight, we'll have the interactive sessions Friday and Saturday, and we'll make sure you guys understand everything that's going on as we're rolling all this out. Robin starts the funnels today for Kartra users. If you have a Kartra account, again, if you don't know what Kartra is, don't worry about it right now. Just talking to those of you who know what it is and who have it. If you have a Kartra account and are either in our Hempworx downline or you're in Profit Platform and Ambassador, email this address. And you're going to email them exactly what I've given you here. So important. Exactly. Don't ask any additional questions in the email. You'll confuse my team. They'll put you in a pile and then they'll wait for Robin and I to help. And that means you're going to get a major delay. Just send them we train them very carefully. And if you follow the instructions, things move smooth. If you add extra caveats to it, they may not understand your question and then they put you in a pile. You don't get processed nearly as fast, especially right now. So follow these directions. Email support again, just those of you who have Kartra. If you don't know what that is, stand by. I'll get to you in a sec. Those of you who have Kartra, email support@predictable-system.com with the below email. The subject line must be these exact words, or you could throw the team off because they're getting really specific instructions. The subject of your email will be Kartra Hempworx Funnel, and your email will read exactly like this. So if you have to pause the video and write this down, go ahead and do that. It's going to say, please drop the Hempworx funnel pages into my Kartra account. My Kartra account is, and you're going to give your email address that's associated with your Kartra account. Now, a lot of you have two Kartra accounts, right? You have like a free one where your affiliate program is all set up, and then you've got the one you pay for that is where you get to have your own website. We're talking about the one you pay for. You need to have, we're not talking about the free Kartra account. We're talking about like the Kartra system where we can drop in funnels. That has a cost to it. So if you have Kartra, you're going to, again, if you don't have Kartra, stand by. I'm going to address you in a minute. But if you have Kartra, you're going to send the email address that you have associated with the Kartra account that you pay for, not the free one. And you're also going to give us your Kartra username. If you log into your Kartra account, the one that you pay for, and you put your cursor in the upper right-hand corner over the logo up there, it should show you your username. So again, have it say exactly this. It's going to say thank you. It's going to give your first name and last name, and then give your Hempworx ID number. If you're not in our Hempworx downline, down below, mention you're in Profit Platform and Ambassador, but not in our Hempworx downline. Okay? So if you need to pause this, what have you, this is exactly what it should say, so you can get on the list and we can get your Hempworx funnels processed first. Next up are those of you who are in Profit Platform or Ambassador program who don't have a Kartra account. So Robin's going to show you, here's how this is going to be set up. Robin's, because we're going to do you next. I just want you to know what's coming. Robin's going to show you how to add your funnel using a simple tool called Elementor. It's free. Now, in order to do this, you have to have a place to put your site. And so to put your site being, in this case, your lead capture page, where people can click and they can see the presentations. We have to have a place to put it and a domain name that's in your control. So you must already have a blog or a site, but ideally a blog that we created for you. See, for those of you who don't know what Profit Platform or Ambassador is, you can ignore this. I'm going to get to you in a second. But those of you who are in Profit Platform or Ambassador, if you started going through the orientation in the early stages of that process, one of the things that we did really fast for you is built you a blog. So that's where we want to, and that you had a domain name to do that with. We guided you through that process. We got that set up. That's where you want to place your lead capture page. Or if you already have a blog and we didn't build it for you, that could work too. We're going to give you instructions on Saturday. So again, we're processing the Kartra people first, and then on Saturday around noon, in time for the Ambassador live session on Saturday, which Profit Platform members will get a replay to, we're going to announce the instructions for getting your Kartra funnel set up this Saturday. Okay, so you're coming very quickly here. Then the next group we're going to process after that are those of you who are in our Hempworx organizations who don't have Kartra and who don't have Profit Platform or Ambassador. So this group will also be shown how to load your funnel in using the free tool Elementor. If you don't have a website or a blog, we can build one for you. It's going to cost $99 one time for us to set it all up. We don't make money on it. It's just to pay for the team to do it. and then you will have to buy a domain name, which is about $10, and that's like a yearly thing to pay for, a website, a domain name. And then the only other cost is hosting of your site, which is about $4 a month. So it's real cheap. And again, this isn't something we're profiting on. Like you need to be set up to be in business if you want to have your own system in your own domain, in your own control, which we've talked at length in the past about why that's so important. For example, Facebook makes it very difficult to advertise. In fact, it's almost, they haven't said it's impossible, but we found that most people can't get their ads through if you're advertising straight to a website or a lead capture page that you don't control. And you can see why. There's a liability there. They feel like it's less likely that it's going to be quality when there's a whole bunch of people just kind of spam marketing, who didn't invest time into putting something together. So the whole internet has this real attitude towards, it being much more valuable, and it's just much easier to market online with professional strategies, which is what you want to move into if you're with us. If you have the website or the lead capture page in your control. Same thing with leads that you generate. When you're dropping leads into an auto email system, a lot of them will ask, where'd you get these leads? If you show them that you got them from your own domain, they don't have any issue with it. If you say, well, I got them from Hempworx, sometimes you can get them in, sometimes you can't. So there's a number of reasons. If you want to move into really doing really well with online marketing strategies we're setting you up with, you want to have a lead capture page in your control. Now, if you don't want to dink around with it and you still want to just not take this real seriously, we will have a community page up where you can send people to watch the presentations, but they're not going to be able to click on the link and opt in to your system. And they're not going to be able to click and go right to log into their free account at Hempworx with the link going to your system. So in case they were to buy products or whatever, you get credit for it. It's just going to be the presentations are there, but you're gonna have to follow up with them, or they're gonna have to reach back out to you. It's just not as good. So again, we're making it as easy as possible, and as inexpensive as it possibly can be. I hope you realize that it's never gonna be easier if you set up professionally and properly, giving you our content, our presentation. So I hope you'll take advantage of this. Again, I'm gonna say this again, even if you don't have a Kartra account, which is just a super cool platform that allows it to be basically push button for us to drop the system into your account and have your site up, your lead capture page up. If you don't have that, you want to take on that extra expense, which is like $97 a month, and you don't have Profit Platform or Ambassador, then we'll still get you set up. But if you don't have a blog or website or some domain for us to place this on, we're going to have to set that up for you. That'd be $99. Not profiting on that. It's way more work than it's worth for $99. Trust me, to manage that for you. We get that set up. It's, make it really easy for you. And then we will show you exactly how to place that on there and kind of support you through that process. It's easy. We'll make it easy for you to get your system up, even if you don't have a blog or a website now. You're going to be a little bit more work for us. So we want to get the easier ones done first. Kartra is going to be really easy for us. You just drop that in. And then those that are in Profit Platform and Ambassador, we've built blogs for most of you already. So that's going to be pretty easy for us to show you what to do. And then we're going to work with the rest of you that are in our Hempworx group to get you set up, who are not in Profit Platform, not an Ambassador, and don't have Kartra. You'll receive your instructions on Tuesday, the 11th, okay? Which is coming up here right around the corner. Okay, so let me now talk about the process for getting added to 10 uplines rotators. If you have 100 committed people in one leg who are on auto order, then you're going to get placed into 10 different marketing rotators of your upline. And remember, everyone's committed to put 10% of their monthly Hempworx income towards marketing that goes towards their downline. And that might not be a lot of money at first. Maybe you'll sign up 1 or 2 people when we get this thing going. Maybe sign up 1 or 2 people so you'll get some enroller bonus. And 10% of that might be a lot of money, but it's still leads. We're going to show you how to make sure that translates into leads that's going to spill over for your downline. Let me say it again. 10 different uplines are going to take 10% of their monthly Hempworx income and add 10 people into their marketing rotators. So, if you got 100 people on auto order in one leg, you get added to that. And some of you do, or some of you are about to. And if you don't, you certainly will when we kick this all on. So this is the process for how we're going to manage that. Uh, and this is what, again, you're going to get to see the full presentation and the comprehensive review. And we're going to make sure you guys understand clearly the comprehensive review, because that's what's breaking down the strategy for your prospects. We want to make sure you fully understand. And again, I'm going to have an interactive call on Friday and Saturday. I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. So here's how it's going to work. I'll kick it off because I'm at the top of a leg, right? It's all going to start with the person at the top of a particular leg. I'll explain what that means in a minute, but you're going to get to see me set all this up, and it'll be simple. We'll make sure you know how to set it up. So the upline by the way, let me just back up and say, if you don't even know how to check to see if you have 100 people on auto order, we're going to show you that too. Like, don't worry. We're going to get to this after we get the funnels in place. So sometime next week, we'll get this in place. The upline at the top of a leg that will start off with me, I'll do this first, we'll create a Google sheet. Those with, it'll be my responsibility to show you guys with a quick video how to log in and see if you have 100 people on auto order in your leg yet. If you do, then you're going to be instructed by me, by email and the posts in the groups, to add your name to that Google sheet. And I'll show you how to do that. Then the upline in that leg, I'll contact the upline in that leg, which are a lot of the same people, and say, hey, go look at that Google sheet and add 10 people to the rotator. And then those upline who do that will indicate on the Google sheet the person that they added, so that no one can game the system. Because one of my concerns with all of this was, and I knew most likely none of you would do it because we got this closer relationship. We've been working together. You've been following this process a little bit. You understand a lot of things. But new people coming in as we're growing fast, new people coming in, right, that are kind of new, might get the idea, if we're not careful here, of just like keep shopping around and say, no, I don't have anybody, I'm not in anyone's rotator yet. And if we weren't careful, we might keep adding them, and they might be in 100 different uplines marketing rotators, instead of just 10, and kind of gaming the system. So we're going to make sure that when you add someone to your marketing rotator, you're going to indicate on the Google sheet who you added. So once everyone sees that someone's been added to 10 different uplines marketing rotators, that person doesn't get added anymore. Okay. And then whoever you added to the marketing rotator, I didn't actually say this yesterday on the call. I'll keep reiterating this stuff. Whoever you added to the marketing rotator, it'll be which will be about 10 people typically. There'll be some cases where it could be 20, but usually it would be 10. And we'll talk more about that, and those more rare cases where it might be 20. But when you add someone to the marketing rotator, which will usually about 10 people for most uplines, and again, that's if you've got a big leg. So, things are happening. Then you're responsible for making sure those 10 people are on auto order and are doing what they're supposed to be doing, or you pull them from your marketing rotator and put someone else in there. Okay. And we'll talk more about this. But that's how that basically goes down. If you don't quite understand it, don't worry about it too much, because I'm going to be doing it first. I'm going to set up a Google sheet. I'm going to show you how to go in there and go through this process. And once we do it, then I'll show you how to set up a Google sheet. If you're at the top of your second leg, for example, then you'll set up a Google sheet. You see, so let me go back to this slide here. So like, if this is you and you've got a big old leg here and you've started building your second leg, then you would set up a Google sheet and just do the same thing that you saw me do, where you'd instruct the people coming into your downline, hey, once you have 100 people on auto order, you just send them to my video. It's going to explain it. But you're just going to make sure, because you have their email addresses, the people you brought in, you're going to tell them, hey, watch this video. Once you have 100 people on auto order, you're going to add yourself to this Google sheet I set up. And then you can tell everyone else, as you see people in the Google sheet who are that are underneath you, you're going to add them to your marketing rotator, and you just send them to a video I made that shows them how to do that. So it's not going to be hard. And if you don't fully understand it yet, don't worry about it, because I'm going to do it first, and then it's going to make a lot more sense. But those that ask that question of how we're going to manage that, I think that's going to be a pretty straightforward, simple process that keeps that in play. And I'll continue to talk about it and reinforce it. And again, you'll see me do it. Okay. So our goal is to post the complete funnel page with all the presentations today. I did this this webinar yesterday, so it says tomorrow, but today by 6 p.m. Pacific. Quite frankly, with me needing to record this, and I hope we hit that time. If we don't, it'd be a few hours later, or whatever. We're dashing for the border here. This is crunch time. So we're aiming to post the marketing funnel with the presentations today, and then the reason for that is I want you to watch the comprehensive review that breaks down the strategy that your prospects are going to be watching. And then I want you to join me on a live interactive session tomorrow, Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 Eastern. Or if that's not a good time for you, join me on Saturday at, okay, so it's 10 a.m. I'm doing that one, and not 1, as I said earlier. So 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, which is 6 o'clock London. I wanted to choose a time that would work for people in Europe and some of the other time zones throughout the world. So again, tonight, look for a post, and if it gets too late, I'm going to we're going to work hard to get it done, and you get that posted. I'm hoping that you will have time to watch that before the interactive session. So we'll do more of these. If you can't watch it before then, or you can't attend the interactive sessions, we'll have more. We're going to have a lot more. Right? Things are going to really start to become very engaging here as we roll all this out, because I'm looking at getting the advertising going next week. I'll kick mine off first and show you what I'm doing, and then I'm going to invite you into it and show you how to set it up. And then we're rocking and rolling. This is going to be nuts. I want to just do some crazy accomplishments here, for myself first, but then also seeing you guys just breaking barriers, just doing things you didn't know you could do or didn't know how to do, just plugging into all of this. So again, our goal by tonight is to have the marketing funnel with the complete presentations up. And I'd like you to watch the comprehensive review as soon as that's up, as quickly as you can. We'll post in the groups. I'll send an email once it's up. If we miss that timeline, okay, we'll get it up as soon as we can, either late tonight or early tomorrow. We are busting our tails to get it done. And it pretty much is. It's just little things, and every little thing you do, then you got to process it, you got to produce it, you got to watch it all again to see if you accidentally broke something by mistake earlier in the video. It's just, you guys probably get the idea if you've worked on anything like this before at all, any videos or anything. You make one little change to it, you got to watch the whole thing again and see if you accidentally change something else. It just takes a long time for every little change at this late development. So anyway, we're going to get that up. Want you to watch the comprehensive review and then join me in one of these interactive sessions on Friday or Saturday if you can. I'll post the link for the interactive session on Friday, so tomorrow, and we'll go from there, guys. We're extremely excited, and sorry I wasn't able to get you the actual replay from yesterday. I was pretty pumped up, and I went over some other things that aren't nuts and bolts stuff, but just how I often do when I'm excited. But nonetheless, I just was covering today here now with you the nuts and bolts of this, what you need to know. And again, if you have Kartra, follow those instructions carefully, send that email in word for word, and we'll start getting your funnels built starting today. And then those of you who don't have Kartra, who are in Profit Platform or Ambassador, you're going to get your instructions on Saturday for how to get your funnel set up. And those of you who are not in Kartra and not in Profit Platform or Ambassador, maybe don't even know what that is, we're going to get you set up and get your instructions started on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And then we'll be rolling. All right, guys, I'll see you soon.